Well, artificial intelligence could soon be handing you a traffic fine, with the New South Wales Transport Department looking at a, quote, automated enforcement system, unquote, to catch and robo-fine drivers touching their mobile phones and not wearing a seatbelt. Currently, the state uses AI to scan for infringements, but they are all manually checked by a human before a fine is issued. This current proposal would take enforcement to a new level, with AI-assisted decisioning and adjudication of incidents. For their take, let's bring in commentator Kath Webber and Sunshine Coast Mayor Rosanna Natoli. Kath, do we want AI to automatically decide who gets a fine without any human oversight?
No, we don't. We need a human at the end. And I have no problem. They're saying that AI will be used in the back-end systems. I think that's the way it's going to roll in the future. So I have no problem with them adopting AI in various parts of the process. But at the end, there has to be a human. There's a lot of errors. You can see it in their statistics, how many that human finds. We know AI makes mistakes. So you have to have the human. But also, when you look at this, one thing that really shocked me is that for every mobile phone infringement caught, every 5 minutes, and I know it's easy to do and it's a real trap for all of us, it's very easy to hear the ping and be distracted. But it's the same amount of people not wearing seatbelts every 5 minutes. I mean, I was shocked at that. Who's not wearing seatbelts these days? And looking at some of these photos, honestly, thank goodness that some of these cameras are here. We have to get better at this behaviour. I'm guilty of it if you hear the ping and you look and you shouldn't. So the more we know there's cameras watching us in this instance, and having your seatbelt on, come on, we're saving lives doing it. So if we all did the right thing, then there wouldn't be 400 million being raised in revenue per case.
Yeah, that's a good point. People scream revenue raising, but we're all doing the wrong thing. Well, not all of us, but a lot of people are doing the wrong thing, or just now and then. Rosanna, the Transport Secretary, has played down the idea about the AI doing it all. Is it a good idea? You could still appeal.
Yeah, and I think, well, the appeal process is probably quite tricky, and that's also another impost on the person receiving the fine. First of all, yeah, absolutely crazy that people aren't wearing seatbelts and we're still reaching for our phones. And it is a distraction. It is really tricky. And the one thing that time has shown over and over again that stops us using our phones is receiving a fine. So that's one thing. But RoboCop with an FPOS machine is, maybe a step too far. And obviously having that human element, because there are people, those photos showing how's the guy with the Tupperware dish eating as he's driving. That was very interesting. Those sorts of things are the kinds of things that a human is going to look at and go, OK, that's not a phone. And then that's going to be the application of the law. So I think it is, the way of the future. We'll be seeing more AI in lots of decision making. But on this one, I think you do need to just make sure that we are tempering and not sending out thousands of fines that then have to be retracted, because that is another cost that's going to flow through eventually.
Yeah. And disputing a fine is a nightmare. I think people just end up paying it because they make it so hard to dispute a fine. You have to have a human at the end.
Yeah. OK. Emirates has unveiled a new feature to its economy class seats with adjustable, padded and flexible side head rest wings to cradle your head and your neck. Have a look at these. Should they be rushed urgently into all economy flights? You see on social media all the newfandangled ways of travelling with a scarf wrapped around your head, all the things you can buy to, wrap your head around on long haul. Is this the answer, Kat?
Look, I read the story first without seeing the photograph, and I was all in. Roll it out on every economy flight. It sounded divine, how it cradles your neck. Then I saw the photo and kind of went, what happens? Well, it sounds great because it moves vertically there, but what happens with this thing? And then if you don't want it, but look, I'm all for the neck support, and everyone's saying it feels great. So it is a difference between a really good sleep, and also you do feel weird wearing the whole neck pillow thing, holding the head up and, the eye mask on. But it makes, if you have a great neck support, you can actually get sleep on a long haul. It is heaven sent. So yeah, and it's in economy. Normally they roll all these fancy things out in, premium economy, and you're just up in the back looking, on enviously.
Looking longingly.
Yes,
exactly. Rosanna, one of my colleagues did have concerns about the cleanliness of the side bits, especially after a long sleep.
Yeah. This is my concern because, you know, apart from hair product or makeup, it's the drool if you're actually asleep, you know, or whatever else might be happening. And you can't opt out. How does it fit if you're really tall or if you're really short or if you're whatever shape or size?
Yeah. Oh, see,
how
there
does
you
that
go.
work?
I want to know what else is happening,
See,
Rosanna.
it lifts
Whatever
up and
else is
down,
happening.
doesn't it? Is it leather? Because that might help rather than a fabric.
Yeah, well, that's true. But is it going to be properly cleaned in between each flight?
And you're nestling right up next to it.
Because it's really tucked in, isn't
It's
it? After
quite personal.
a 10-hour sleep.
Personal. Earwax, you know, I'm
Oh,
not sure.
my goodness. Oh, no.
Too early?
I think you
Too early in
need
the morning?
Too early.
You need your spray and wipe, definitely, on those. Tell us what you think. Thanks, guys. See you next week.